We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is cast, and so it is. Hello. My name is Chelb. My pronouns are they, them, and this is Phasecraft Collective, your weekly check-in with the tarot to get the vibes, to see what's possible, to see what's happening, what the energy is like for the week to come. It's a little wonky, personally. I don't know what it's like for y'all, but things are a little weird, but like kind of in a good way. Maybe we're coming off of this new moon in Sagittarius. We're in the midst of Mercury retrograde. Mars is about to go retrograde. So there's just like, once again, lots of energy happening in the sky, in the world. We're doing our best. And that's exactly it. We're doing our best. You're doing your best. I'm doing my best. Speaking of which, don't look too closely at my hands. They're dry and sad. And that's just the way things are once it gets cold here for me in Minnesota. So I'm so sorry if my unmanicured hands cause any offense to those of you watching this. Anyway, there's not a ton to talk about for me this week. Phasecraft, the final cohort of 2025, begins on Saturday. I'm so excited. I love Phasecraft. It's like my favorite thing I've ever created. So if you've been thinking about it, you have a few more hours to catch my Small Business Saturday / Cyber Monday sale. 22% off everything that I do. So yeah, that's available for a few more hours. If you're watching this on Monday, you have until 11:59 p.m. to get 22% off any reading. My Phasecraft course. I just opened registration for my annual New Year's Day Manifesting Magic Goal and Intention Setting with Tarot and Magic class. This is my third year doing it, and it's a blast. It's another one of my favorite things to do. We all just get together on New Year's Day and like set goals with tarot and talk about how to magically make them happen. Delightful. So yeah, you can get 22% off literally everything that I do. The code is MakeMagic22. MakeMagic22. I'll put that in the episode description. So if you've been thinking about getting a reading, if you've been thinking about joining Phasecraft, if you want to get in on one of my other classes, the next one is January 1st with Manifesting Magic. All the info's in the episode description. And yeah, that's all I have to say. You have until 11:59 p.m. on Monday, December 2nd to take advantage of Make Magic 22. Okay, let's get into the cards. So as always, we're going to begin with a few minutes of breathing, centering, and casting our circle together, right? So if you'd like, you can join me in closing your eyes. You can also just let your gaze settle down at your cheeks if that feels better. And just take a few breaths. Let yourself come into this moment, into your body. Feel your shoulders rising and falling, your rib cage expanding and softening. And bring your awareness to wherever your body is making contact with the ground, whether it be your feet on the floor, your seat on a chair, you're back on your bed. Just take a few breaths to really feel gravity holding you. Feel the weight of your form being supported by the earth. Feel yourself being held. And anytime you're feeling unmoored or floaty or distant, come back to this place. Remember that if no one else can or is, the earth is always holding you. And as I call to the spirits and guardians of the elements here, I invite you to imagine their force, their essence, creating a circle, a barrier of protection around you, Maybe a circle of salt or mushrooms or stones or a ring of fire. Maybe you see the ground opening up in a circle around you and filling with water that rises from beneath the surface. Maybe you just feel a force field of air, a dome, holding out all unwanted energy. And maybe you see a combination of these or something else entirely. I call to the spirits and guardians of the north of Earth, the deepest roots and the tallest trees, of the stardust that gave shape to this planet into our bones. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the east, of air, of wind and breath, of thought and of change. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the south, of fire, of the life-giving sun and the powers of creation and destruction, of cleansing and of renewal. Hail and welcome. I call to the spirits and guardians of the west, of water, the oceans and our blood, the rivers and our sweat, the rain and our tears. Hail and welcome. We are surrounded on all sides, above and below, within and without, by love, protection, divinity, and magic. The circle is open. No. The circle is cast. And so it is. You can take a couple of breaths. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. All right. Let's get into it, shall we? I gave myself a really nasty, cardboard cut on my thumb. So, everything is hard right now. Everything is hard. Right on the pad of the thumb is one of the worst places to get a cut. That really just makes your life harder. Anyway. Ooh, okay. I'm just using the, OG Rider-Waite. Okay, that was a lot. I'm going to put you guys aside, take out you two. Oh, it's jumpy. Okay, really interesting energy so far. Really interesting. We've got the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, both in the reverse. Followed by, excuse me. The World, the King of Wands, and the Six of Cups. So already our focus is being drawn to the idea of resource and exploration. If you're new here, for me, reversals are mostly an area where we really need to focus. So I don't usually read them as direct opposites. I read them as an area where energy is stuck or something that we really need to give our attention to. And so with the Queen of Pentacles and the Page of Wands both coming out in the reverse, again, bring your attention this week specifically to your physical resource, to your body, to your home. Take care of yourself and make sure you feel held, feel safe. Make sure that you are giving yourself what you need. And the Page of Wands reversed. Get curious. Follow the impulse to create, to move, to chase. Let yourself really get expansive with how you pursue resource. Should I say resource again? Okay. Okay. I'm going to look at these cards that all kind of came out in a group. I'll take two of you. Okay, that one. The moon is back. Okay, on that one. All right. What was I saying? Yeah. Exploration, expansion, getting creative, and letting the things that feel exciting guide you to new ways of looking at care for yourself, for the people immediately around you, for your space. The Queen of Pentacles is heavy, like, care energy. And exploring what it really means to give care to, again, to yourself, to your immediate surroundings, to the people close to you, to tend to people, to relationships, to the self. There is this, like, very, even though it's earth energy, there's this also very, like, watery aspect to all the queens. This very, like, Venusian, luxurious, smooth and healing energy to the Queen of Pentacles. So what is missing from your routines? How are you not leaning into self-care right now? And how can you get creative with how you bring it in this week? Now, kind of moving right along here, the World, the King of Wands, the Six of Cups. If I can get the freaking cards off the desk. This moment with the World, yes, this is like an ending and a turning of the wheel and a flipping up the page. And it is a reminder that we don't just move from one phase into the next. Once something is finished, we take the time, or we can take the time to explore this feeling of ending, to reflect on what we've learned, and again, like, celebrate and honor and be with this moment of transition. That's what, like, December really is. It is like a full month of transition. We all have so much going on. We have so much that we're looking forward to. But we need this time to really be with everything that this year has held for us so that we can then use that knowledge, use that experience, use those ideas to move forward into 2025, into the next year, with self-assuredness in our ability to take on whatever we set out to do. There's this energy with the Six of Cups too, of like leaning into the joy of planning, of leading, of being fully out in the open. Leaning into nostalgia a little bit, which is always a thing with the holidays. Leaning into, like, the things that make you feel childlike wonder and joy, and seeing how you can maybe bottle that up. Not like in a bad way, but like literally bottle it and take it with you into the challenging times ahead. But again, like, coming back to this King of Wands moment, knowing that you are strong, you are powerful, and when you move and lead and take action from a place of curiosity and compassion and creativity, your endeavors are going to be much more effective than if you approach everything with fear. Approach things with joy and allow them to fully come to an end before you decide how to feel about them. Kind of with that, we have the Nine of Wands and the Three of Pentacles. We also have the Four of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. So like lots of earth energy here for us. And I think it's interesting having the Six of Pentacles and the Three of Pentacles in one place. And then also like the Four kind of after we talked about like resourcing self. But Nine of Wands. If you're like, what do you mean there's a cycle ending? Like, I feel really stuck. I feel really stagnant. I feel like I don't have a clear vision of what comes next. The key is going to be in other people. In finding support system and finding, community is such a buzzword right now, but remember that community doesn't have to be like this huge network. You and your best friend who you can talk to about anything are a community. You and the friend that you maybe don't talk to as often, but they're always down to give you a ride to the airport. You're a community, right? Look to the ways, large and small, that people show up for you and that you show up for others, and see what might lie within that can help you kind of navigate through whatever feels like it's blocking you, to see what comes next, if not to see the end of whatever it is you're moving on and working towards. We live in a society that has pushed individualism and independence on us almost to a point of toxicity. For most of human history, we have all worked and lived together, and not much was ever accomplished by one single person alone. We need people. We need help. And that's kind of also where the Six of Pentacles comes in, right? The Six of Pentacles is like a very interesting card. It's kind of taken on this newer, association with like mutual aid and like sharing and care of like community and all that good stuff. There it is, my buzzword again. And if we're looking at the I have the Rider-Waite deck right here, the OG, not the original imagery of the Six of Pentacles in history, but in the Rider-Waite system. The person handing things out seems to be some sort of like lord or like noble, and the people receiving are beggars or serfs. So there is this power balance here as well. And with this idea of like community and building together and finding support system, there is this cautioning against, I don't want to say taking advantage of, because I don't really know if I believe in that. Yes, you can definitely take advantage of people, but I do also think like asking for help is important, and we all should do it more. But being careful of noticing when maybe there are expectations around exchange. And maybe the work is to look at that within yourself. Do you have this idea of like, oh, I'm giving money to my unhoused neighbor because it's the thing I should do? Or are you giving it to them because you care about them and you want them to have whatever you can help provide for them? Are you doing it from a place of, if someone sees me, then I'll look like a good person? Or are you doing it from, we are all connected and just trying to live on this earth together, and what is mine should be for anyone else because we take care of us? Exploring our relationship to power and to motivation behind our actions. Like if you're talking about, community and resource and anything else online recently, are you saying the buzzwords so that people know that you're with it? Or are you saying the buzzwords online and then also taking things offline to do the work there? Doing the work is like another buzzy phrase, but do you know what I mean? And having this come out with the 4, which is like, yes, make sure that you have enough and make sure that you don't have more than what you need. That is going to be huge for us in the coming months, if not years. panic buying, hoarding, stocking up. If you have things you don't need, it doesn't mean that it doesn't always mean that you're safer, as much as it means that someone else doesn't get it because you took too much. So there's all of that wrapped up in these two cards, especially as they come out together. This is a huge reminder to share a resource where we can. And remember, resources are not just monetary. They are not just possessions. They are also time. They are ideas. They are skills. What can you teach? What can you share of your knowledge? What can you give of your time? Right? Learning how to actually be in community with people means learning how to sacrifice convenience for the good of everyone. Well, Four of Pentacles just jumped right off the table. They said, I delivered my message and now I'm out. LOL. Okay, but we're finishing up here with the Four of Cups, the Moon, and the Ace of Cups. I love this, like, Four of Cups and the Moon. Because this is that reminder, I think. A lot of times we look outside of ourselves for healing, for magic, for, permission, for inspiration. But all of that already exists within us. The person you want to be, all the things that you want to achieve, all the things you want to manifest and bring to you, the version of you that has all that already exists within you. So instead of focusing on what is outside of you and what is immediately like causing issues and being, difficult, turn inward. Turn inward and spend time finding all of the magic within. Because it's there. I mean, again, like I've talked about this before, but to me, time isn't linear at all. So that's why I say, like, the version of you that already has everything that you want exists within you. It is you. All you have to do is find that essence and then just start living as if it is true. Turn to your dreams, turn to your desires, your impulses, listen to them. Yeah, maybe don't do everything your gut tells you to do right away, especially if you're like me and you have OCD and you get intrusive thoughts. Maybe don't do everything that those say, but hopefully, you can parse the difference a little bit, right? Everything you need is within you. That's pretty much, that's it. That's it with here. And then just the Ace of Cups to say, leading with love. Sorry, I'm gesturing so intensely. I shook my camera here. Leading with love. Opening your heart to the possibility that you have plenty to share and other people have plenty to give. It is not taking advantage of if things are offered freely. So just open yourself up to the possibility that people want to help you, want to be with you, want to support you, because they do. Bottom of the deck, Queen of Swords. Okay. Being open and letting things come in does not mean that we let people walk all over us. So not me being we have to release our individualism and we have to actually be open and make sacrifices, and then being yeah, but also do no harm, take no shit. I think with the Queen of Swords, we can really look to or think of this idea of direct communication and being truthful with our feelings and our words and being honest as an act of care and love. It doesn't mean that you are unintentionally mean. Think about like when you're responding to a comment or a post online. A lot of us, because of how online we are in our online culture, our immediate gut reaction is to respond with like sarcasm or, disbelief that this could ever be said. But what if you take a second to reframe what you want to say or ask into a genuine question or a genuine like moment of helping shift thought? Or better yet, what if you don't respond at all and you just block and move on with your day? Something to think about. Queen of Swords. Protecting your mind and your energy while moving through the world and caring for your community, because they're still a queen, right? Queens still have to take care of their queendoms. But they also have to protect their own energy, because otherwise they'll get completely burned out and torn down. Okay. That's the message. That's the vibe. I love a little OG Rider-Waite moment to guide us. So, let's go ahead and close our circle. I'm going to once again close my eyes and invite you to do the same if it feels safe and good to do so. Take a couple of breaths. Reimagine that circle of elemental protection around you. Take a big deep breath in. Exhale through your mouth. And let your breath blow away that circle, scattering salts, extinguishing fire, releasing air, sending water or stones or mushrooms or anything else sinking back into the earth, opening the circle and releasing the energy. I release the spirits and guardians of the west, the south, the east, and the north, sending you back to your place in the natural order with praise and with gratitude. I send the energy of all those watching and listening back to them whole, complete, and intact. And I take my energy back to myself, whole, complete, and intact. May we remain friends, though our energies are no longer crossed, corded, or tangled at all, starting now. Take a breath, feel your energy settle into you, all yours. The circle is open, and so it is. All right, my friends, that is all for us this week. You still have like a few hours to snag 22% off year ahead readings, tarot craft, manifesting magic, any type of written or recorded or one-on-one reading. It's all available to you. Make Magic 22 at checkout. I think that's all. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you next week.